Hello and welcome to Obinna TV. So now I'm looking at the rise of Obinna TV. So basically, Obinna is now the YouTube personality to go to. I think in terms of interviews, I don't think there is any other YouTube personality that beats Obinna. So of course you have the other ones like Commentator 254. Of course is coming along, but of course Commentator 254 says that basically he is struggling. Of course, I think he found a restaurant at River Small to be able to host his show. But now you have Obinna. I think he controls the interview on YouTube. He's a Kenyan YouTube interview personality. So basically, what made Obinna rise like that? I think basically he mixes his guests, and so we could say Obinna is the Rogan of Kenya. Basically, he basically interviews all genres. So sometimes you could have a professor, you could have a government bureaucrat, you could have a politician, you could have Obinna interviewing celebrities and of course online couples. So basically, I think Obinna has grown. I think that should be the future of Kenyan media. I think the future of Kenyan online spaces is in interviewing all. Look at the rise of Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has an audience of about 11 million. Of course, that pales in comparison when you compare that with Cristiano Ronaldo. I think Cristiano Ronaldo, within a month of joining YouTube, had over 70 million subscribers. But for Obinna, of course, he came from nowhere, and remember, it has been a long, hard journey for Obinna. He says at least he first began shooting. He began that is recording videos. I think with Eddie Butita. I think it is Eddie Butita who loaned him out of his space to be able to shoot his videos. Remember, he coined the first ones he produced were, I think, a Kula Kula show, but it didn't gain traction. Then he went for a job at Kiss 100, but of course, then he said he failed to renew his contract. And basically, now that is the future of media for Oga Obinna. Now, of course, then they came up with a hugely successful weekly show, and I think the weekly show is what put him over the top. But of course, then they fell out with them on Facebook, and I think Obinna fell out with them on Facebook, and I think that weekly show, I think it had about hundreds of thousands of views. That is a weekly show with them on Facebook. Of course, there are two ways to look at it. Some brands wanted to access Obinna cheaply, and basically they were coming in through demo Facebook, but also demo Facebook management said that maybe they were getting a raw deal from Obinna. But of course, now his fans are disappointed that it wasn't a relationship in the first place. That is, Obinna and demo Facebook were basically doing content. They were not dating. So Obinna now, I would refer him as the Joe Rogan of Kenya. So he will continue to do those interviews, and I think he says YouTube, the money he gets from YouTube is a very small sum compared to what he gets as MC Geek. So I think for Obinna, then YouTube is just a continuation of what he does. I think for Obinna, YouTube is just a continuation for is just the face of what it does. It is just a branding. I think for YouTube, I think a corporate gig, a good corporate gig could fetch maybe like 400k or 500k. That is basically, and I think you remember YouTube basically the CPM rates for Kenya are very low. I think YouTube, I don't know how Mungai Eve and Director Trevor managed to get even about 2 million shillings per month, or maybe 800,000 per month, but I think the CPM rates for YouTube in Kenya are very low. That's why YouTube doesn't pay a lot of money in Kenya. But I think if you have a lot of viewers, maybe based in USA or Canada, or in Europe or in Australia, and maybe then you could get a lot of money. But then if you are relying only on Kenyan viewers on YouTube, I think then the pay is not that much, because we don't have a lot of Kenyan advertisers, Kenyan companies advertising on YouTube. So basically, I think YouTube does not pay a lot of money. But remember, for Obinna, this is just packaging him. Then he could get the corporate gigs, corporate MCing gigs. I think he gets the corporate MCing gigs, and that's why then he gets a lot of money from YouTube. So I think and that's why I think he employs about 30 people, and all of them, YouTube cannot sustain that. But I think because he gets a lot of corporate deals, corporate endorsements. Remember, he is the brand ambassador of Mozart. He is the brand ambassador of Mozart Bet. He is the brand ambassador of he is the brand ambassador of I think Zinco Mabati. So basically, he is a brand ambassador of so many, and maybe that is why. Then for the future of social media, I think is in influencing. I think the money from YouTube, yes, it's nice. It's a nice check, but I don't think it pays a lot compared to corporate investments, and that's why for Gobin, I think then YouTube is just a front for him to be able to then get this corporate MC gigs and be a brand ambassador. I think a lot of social media is about social media influencing, and that is why I think then we would have to be able to then I think Oga I really think that Oga will be able to I think that Oga just a minute. And I think that is how Ogobina will be able to rise, and I think he will be able to produce a good show. So, do you think Ogobina is the Joe Rogan of Kenya? That is, do you think Ogobina is the Joe Rogan of Kenya? And what does he need to do differently? Because now you will see competition. Commentator 254 is coming up, and of course for Gobina, then he learned from the best, that is Jalango. And of course Jalango, maybe I think Jalango could have made a lot of money as a content creator compared to what he's making as an MP, unless he's stealing. But I think if Jalango is not stealing any money, then I think I think the media space was giving him lots of money. Basically Jalango was a walking billboard. Jalango was a walking, really, he was a walking billboard. He had a lot of brand advertising on his YouTube channel. So I think politics sometimes worse, and this is why I don't agree with this aspect that if you are successful in one area, then basically you just go into politics. I don't think that's a good thing that any person that succeeds in an area they just think of going to politics. I think there are very many avenues in which you could excel in Kenya. I think there are so many avenues in which you could excel, but I don't think everyone should be headed to politics. And so this is a clap for Gobin. Of course, here the fans of them on Facebook are not amused that they are not in a relationship, but I guess he is really the Joe Rogan of Kenya, and is showing us the future of media is in digital spaces. The future of media is in digital space, and I think Ogobina will continue to bring lots of guests, celebrities, politicians, and of course change makers. And I think maybe he should look maybe to go into other genres, and maybe also go into other brand partnerships, so that then he can exist. So do you think Ogobina is really the king of interviews on YouTube? Do you think Ogobina is the king of interviews on YouTube? So you let me know in the comment section.